And there's for your listeners, there's a Dr. Spencer Naldowski. He is a obesity doctor. He prescribes these drugs and he puts out a lot of good information, in my opinion. And he said something that really kind of stuck with me. And I think it's helpful for people to hear, especially when people believe that nutrition should be the fix for everybody. And so what's happened in our modern food environment is it's just kind of amplified that genetic um, card, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's not saying that weight loss isn't possible, but in our current environment, I think it's unrealistic to think that our current methods of just preaching more broccoli is going to work for everyone. Certainly, there are going to be people, and the less of a weight loss process they need, less weight that they need to take off, the more likely they're going to be successful. But our trajectory is such that we clearly need some other intervention. And I think right now this is a good ad for sure.
I would say so. Yeah, the food environment is so catastrophic. And my wife and one of my kids went to Italy over the summer, and they went to like get gelato someplace, and they reported, they're in line with all these Italians, and it was just like one scoop, like one relatively
Exactly.
small, like
Like
what
a
we
kid
consider ice
size
cream.
here.
Yeah, a kid size, exactly. It was just bloop, one scoop. And like you can't even get something that small in the US unless you're
No,
like bringing like an infant into a restaurant. Like there's
correct.
no, and it wasn't even an option. I mean, the size of a small, if you have small, medium, and large at an ice cream shop in the US, she's like, my wife said, like, the biggest ice cream that they saw was smaller than our small, and like you had
Yes.
to search it out. Like it wasn't easy to find, and that like play that game with so many other
Everything.
things, and then the chemicals and the food and the processing and all that. It's you know, I don't think I told you this. I've played with
Mm.
so many different sort of nutritional things over the years. But do you know like the one thing I never actually really gave a whirl was paleo?
Mm. Mhm.
Like I was a bunch of zone because I didn't want to give up certain things, body by bread, and all that kind of
Sure.
stuff, but I tried paleo over the summer for like 2 months. Like I gave it a no kidding, real like hardcore. Like I'm not going to chew a stick of gum. Like
Right.
I just to really do it.
Okay.
First of all, holy cow, it works. And second of, for me anyway, and second of all, it was so illuminating to me because it forces you to seek out unprocessed food if you're really doing it. I remember being at a family, I think we went somewhere with my wife's family, extended family for like 4th of July. We rented like an Airbnb, and I walked into the kitchen. People had brought all these dishes. Everyone brought, there's food everywhere in the kitchen, filling all the counters. And I walked in, I looked around, and I was like, I literally can't eat any of
Can't
this.
eat
Any
anything,
any
right.
the kitchen
Anything.
is full, corner to
Full.
corner of platters of food. And if I'm actually eating unprocessed food, I can't eat a single spoonful of anything. It was, even after as many years I've been doing this, it was like kind of shocking. And it was just interesting. The food
Yeah.
environment in the US is we got something special happening here.